Last time on TSB, we unlocked a new skill and sailed off anchor for the first time, made the acquaintance of some new aquatic pals, embarked on arguably our most beautiful sunrise sail to date, and waltzed onto the set of Groundhog Day, Beach Edition. Now that we've had our fill of long days frying in the sun, it's time to make our way north once again. I'm Emily. This is Will. And that's Lou Dog. And we live on our sailboat Appa. Catch us every other Wednesday on YouTube. And welcome to the Sailing Bison. Alright, it's like 4:45, 5 o'clock in the morning. We're doing our last few checks here. Anywho, we're about 40 miles away, and there is like no wind forecasted today. But we'll make do, as we always do. Worst case, we have to motor, which we hate doing. But, oh, excuse me. I'm ready to get out of here. I've been here for too long. So, there's another northerly coming through starting tomorrow. So it's either go today or get stuck here for another few days. We're going to skip Coronado, and we're going to go to San Juanico instead. Heard great things about it. There's supposed to be good hiking. Bringing out the boots. Let's go. But not too fast. This dog is absolutely not having the fact that we woke him up so early. Oh, buddy. Are you too sleepy? Oh, good boy. So sleepy. Despite my lack of enthusiasm about waking up before the sun, these are my favorite moments. Regardless of how short-lived they may be.
Look at my back.
Do you want to make sure it's worth keeping first?
I think I'll leave that. Watch out, Lou. Go on the other side. Tiny little bonita. That's so small.
Yeah, I think. You want the bat?
You think it would survive if we unhooked it?
Was it through the mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Goodbye, friend!
Too small.
Well, they're not all winners. Maybe we'll get lucky next time.
Took us about 3 hours of motoring before the wind filled in behind us. Finally got to sailing. That little buzzing you hear is the wind maker. Oh, I got another fish. Here. Let me take this in. Alright, we're gonna start catching bigger fish here. I know it.
We may be disappointed, but trust me, no one is more disappointed in a lack of fresh fish than Lou Dog.
Back to sailing.
We didn't let our fishing woes get us down, and it turned out to be a really beautiful day.
So this is what it looks like when you prefer to sail and not motor. There's not enough wind to go fast, but there's enough wind to go. So you put all the sails and do the best you can. We're doing 1.8 knots and 3.5 knots of wind. So really not too bad, but certainly not fast. And that's sailing.
We danced between motoring and sailing with the ebb and flow of the wind, and reminisced about our days on Lake Michigan, when we were lucky to hit hull speeds over 2 knots in our Flicka.
Hello.
Those days seem so far away now, but we still hold our Nelly girl close to our hearts.
So Emily, how'd you give a rundown of the Sea of Cortez?
So far, it's been pretty great,
Yeah?
gotta say. It definitely beats working outside in the Chicago winter by like 1,000,000%. Yeah, all around. Double thumbs up.
You wanna give us 2 thumbs up?
The days when the sun is shining and those north winds have finally abated, nothing is better than the feeling of sun on skin.
I jumped at the chance to take it all in while fully secluded out on the open water, with no one around but the fish below the hull and the birds above the sails. After a couple hours of basking, the mouth of the anchorage became visible on the horizon, and it was time to kick the engine back on and prepare to scout our spot. We dropped the main, made ourselves decent,
Get my glove back.
and triple-checked our charts.
We are making our approach into the anchorage now. We go through the same process every time we come to a new anchorage, so I thought I'd run you guys through it. First thing we check is our guidebook. So in the guidebook, it's going to have a rundown of what the good anchorages are and a few notes on what the conditions are like and where to anchor based on certain conditions. We also then have our maps that are built into this nav station, pretty old. There's some details in here that aren't found in there. We like to combine both of them, like this little waypoint over there didn't exist, so that's good to know. And then last but not least, we also check Navionics, which is an app that's run mostly by user input. So if I zoom in here, I get all of the different users, previous boaters who have been here, all of their notes and soundings. And then finally, as we get nice and close, pull out your handy dandy binoculars. And you make sure that what you see on the coastline there lines up with the 3 different maps that you're corresponding into. So a lot goes into picking which anchorage you actually want to go to, and then even more goes into where to put the anchor within that anchorage. So we have probably about 30 minutes left until we're there. It's time to pull out binoculars and start picking our final spot.
Caleta San Juanico's large bay offers protection from basically every direction. In the southern end, you'll find 2 anchorages along the beach, but they're open to the north, so we won't be venturing down there. Instead, we're staying in the northern portion of the bay. Much like Honeymoon Cove from one of our previous episodes, there are 3 lobe-like anchorages to choose from. We would have liked to anchor in the central location, but it was already pretty crowded, and with the strong winds coming, we knew we were going to be letting out a lot of scope. Instead, we looked at some satellite models that revealed to us that this area still gets some decent swell protection from this rock formation. We tucked in next to the large rocky pinnacle, far enough off the reef to give ourselves some swinging room. We made it in just as the sun set and rested easy, fully satisfied after a beautiful day on the move, and awoke the next morning reinvigorated and ready for a new adventure. After 2 months apart, our pal Joe popped into the anchorage, and the 3 of us, happy to be reunited, jumped into Momo, our tender, and made for the Ridgeline Trail on the southern end of the bay. To a perfect day, we decided to break out the telescope. We love sharing the experience of seeing the moon up close, and it's a fun way to bring the anchorage together.
All right, my buddy Joe is back in town, and that means we're going spearfishing. So I've got my bottom half on. I got the dinghy in the water, and we are headed out. Is the spear gun? Spear bag. We also haven't used the anchor in a while. Where we're going, no beach. So, we're all set. Do some spear fishing.
Johnny, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun. Take it on the run, on the run, on the run. Hear them calling.
Can you see if the recorder is blinking or not? It is on? Thanks.
Hurry right away, no delay, stop there. Make your daddy glad to have had such a lad. Tell your sweetheart not to fight. Be proud, our boys in line. Over, hurry right away, no delay, stop there. Make your daddy glad.
There's a 30-pound object over here, dude. It's the biggest one I've ever seen.
Be proud, our boys in line. Over there, send the word, send the
Fucking finger fish. Got to fight through the fish.
This thing right here is a big one.
Look at that white meat in there. Oh, I can't wait to get that.
This thing is heavy.
Hell yeah.
Well, I finally got my triggerfish. I got a really nice shot on it. Got it right through the head. So all the meat's still good.
Will drop the fish right in the water. So he's soon back up to go get it.
Damn. That was mad sliced open too. I'm gonna jump on the paddleboard right after you and look around too. The little tip came out the other side of the fish, but the flapper didn't come out.
Oh, I see.
So, I guess
So he was able to
the
just
flapper was
slip
still-
right through.
was still closed on the other side, yeah. That's what it seemed like. Dive down, bud.
The visibility here is just shit.
I can see the bottom.
This was a weird few minutes. Joe did laps in his paddleboard around the back of the boat while Will searched the water. From the transom, I frantically scanned the seafloor for anything that looked even remotely fish-shaped. Of the three of us, guess who found it?
Have the ladder. I got it right through the fish again. But no, that was it. It fell straight down. You found it? It was just laying on the ground, dude.
I found it from right here. What? I spotted it, yeah.
Oh, that's unbelievable. I can't believe it.
Good teamwork.
But this story doesn't end here. While trying to clean the fish, Will ended up almost dropping it in the water again. And despite being shot through the head with a spear twice, the poor guy had enough in him for one last act of vengeance.
It feels like a fair amount of meat. Ah, it just bit me.
Oh,
Jesus.
bit you?
Yeah.
No way. Meat taken out. Oh my god. That is so crazy, dude. The triggerfish has got its revenge. It has bit Will in the hand and drew blood.
It bit you?
It bit him and it broke his skin. He got you good, huh?
Yeah.
You okay, bud?
Yeah.
That would scare the shit out of me, dude. I'd be in shock. Are
It's
you
not
in
like in a
shock?
critical area.
Not a critical area, that's right. Yeah, don't stick your pecker anywhere close to this guy's mouth, dude. That thing is...
Great point.
Feeling like he really earned this one, Will grilled up our tenacious triggerfish with a giddiness one can only compare to that of a little kid on Christmas.
I was just trying to figure out where you hang it. Triggerfish, man.
We'll see you next time for a Will's Workshop, Watermaker style, and a little history lesson on San Juanico's geology.